What do Apple, Nike, and Coca-Cola all have in common? It's a killer brand strategy. Successful brands don't just happen, they're built with intention. So, what's the good news? You don't need $1 billion budget to craft a brand that connects and converts. So, today, while I do a little bit of crocheting, let's break down how you can create a brand strategy that works. Alright, let's start with the basics. What exactly is brand strategy? Brand strategy is a long-term plan that shapes how your business is perceived. It's not just about how things look, it's about how your brand feels, the experience it creates, and the connection you build with your audience. A lot of people get brand strategy mixed up with brand identity, and it's really easy to see that because when we have the front-facing elements, we just kind of assume that that's the entire plan is to show up and look the way that we do. But brand strategy goes deeper. It's really about your mind, body, and soul of your brand. Think about your favorite brands, Nike, Apple, Hershey's, Coca-Cola, or even your local coffee shop. They all have something in common. They have a clear identity, a strong message, and a way of making you feel something when you interact with them. It's not just about how they look, it's about how they make you feel, the emotion that they incite whenever you use their products and services. Remember, brand strategy is perception plus experience plus connection. Why does a brand strategy matter? A brand without a strategy is like crocheting without a pattern. You might be making something, but you don't know where it's going. A brand strategy gives your business direction, stability. When it's done right, it can help you do 3 things. It can help you stand out in a crowded market, build trust and credibility with your audience, and attract the right customers who sincerely align with the mission and business goals that you have. Attracting the right customers is 50% of the battle in business. A lot of businesses struggle to make that profit because they're not communicating their value and the way that they're attracting the customers that would buy from them. That is why brand strategy is so important. Without a clear brand strategy, businesses will struggle. They go through rebrands, they change their messaging way too often, and it ultimately confuses people. When you confuse your audience, you lose them. But when your brand is built on a solid strategy, it's not just another option, it becomes the choice. Remember, brand strategy is direction plus trust plus recognition. And now let's break down the key components of a strong brand strategy. Think of these as the stitches that hold your brand together, or you can think of these as like the 6 pillars. These are the foundations that you will need to build a good brand strategy. The first one is a brand's purpose and mission. Why does your business exist beyond making money? I know that a lot of business owners kind of shrug their shoulders and are just like, well, I want financial freedom. I like working with people. I just kind of exist because I want to. And that's great, but you really do need a good reason to answer the question why. It's no surprise that people buy relationships. They buy good stories. And a good story will answer the question why. People want to know your motivation. They don't want to just hear kind of this half-baked answer. You have to have a deeper purpose, so be prepared to answer that when your customers do ask. Number 2, your target audience. Your brand isn't going to be for everyone, and thank God for that. Knowing your ideal customers is going to help you craft a message that truly resonates. So getting to know your target audience is not just about the demographics, it's also about the psychographics. You need to understand who they are, their ambitions, their dreams, their fears, where they are in their life stages, and what they value. When you really understand your buyer, deciding how you want to build out that brand strategy is going to be so much easier. Number 3 is your brand positioning. So this is the most common question that business owners will hear, and it's kind of like business 101. It's what makes your business different. It's like your unique value proposition. What edge do you have against your competitors? Why should your clients pick you and buy from you? And unfortunately, having the lowest price is not going to be a good enough edge unless you are in an industry where price shopping is very common. A lot of brands really want to sell value, so consider what your competitors are doing and what they're not doing, and how can you leverage that to your strengths. Number 4 is brand messaging and voice. Every interaction that your brand has with the customer needs to feel consistent. This includes on your website, your emails, your social media. Every interaction on a media channel needs to sound the same. Now, what does this mean? Some brands struggle with writing consistently, and this kind of looks like a brand wanting to be professional, but also be kind of funny, but then also be kind of like mysterious. You want to pick the right tone. You want to make sure that however you're writing, even down to like how you do your grammar, if you're using emojis, even down to like the sentence structure needs to be the same. Don't change things up every single time in different channels because people are going to kind of get confused and it's going to be difficult to recognize you as a brand. Number 5 is your visual identity. This is everyone's favorite pillar. This is my favorite pillar as well. It's often mistaken for your brand strategy, but this is your color palette, your fonts, your design. This is kind of like the clothes your brand wears that people make assumptions on. So when you're working with your visual identity, it is an important component. If you decide to be a professional brand, you probably don't want to use super crazy fonts or super bright color palettes. You probably want to use more rich tones. Or maybe if you want to be funny, you'll have kind of like a fun color palette or vibrant colors. You want to be really careful and intentional on how you present yourself on the visual components. Number 6, customer experience. This is where brand strategy is often neglected, but if you do this correctly, it's going to shine in your customer experience. And the question is, how do people feel when they interact with your business? This includes from onboarding to offboarding to retention emails to follow-ups. What emotional response are you trying to elicit in your customers? And what processes do you have in place to do that? So how are you going to get your clients to trust you? How are you going to get your clients to feel valued by you? And this takes a lot of trial and error. It takes constant tweaking. And this isn't something that you're going to build overnight, but it is so worth it when you have these systems in place in your business. So let's remember the 6 pillars of a strong brand strategy. Number 1 is brand purpose and mission. Number 2 is target audience. Number 3 is brand positioning. Number 4 is brand messaging and voice. Number 5 is visual identity. And number 6 is customer experience. Remember those 6 components. All right, let's talk about a brand strategy in action. And my favorite one to use is actually Apple. I think they're super interesting just because of how much of a cult brand they've kind of become. Even when I was growing up, Apple was the brand. Apple has a bit of a sleek and minimalistic design, and while it does look amazing, and it is kind of become more of like the industry standard for tech companies, it does reflect their core values of innovation, simplicity, and ease of use. From their packaging to their customer service, everything aligns with this idea of simplicity with their brand strategy. What really makes Apple a branding powerhouse is that they've turned their products into a status symbol. If you can turn your product and service into a symbol, you have it made. People have now associated this abstract idea or emotion with your product and brand, and they're going to continue to buy it. It kind of becomes like this really interesting contract between you and your customers. But you have to be super careful with it, because if you do not respect that contract, it's easy to kind of fall out of favor. They've also managed to kind of create this strong emotional connection between their brand and customers. With that status symbol, people feel kind of like this sense of like rush or excitement, kind of like being the first adopters of this new technology that they're always coming out with. iPhones being a prime example. Whenever you're just holding an iPhone, there's this sense of power. There's this sense of like forward thinking that comes with it. And it's really created an entire culture of people that don't just buy Apple, they join the Apple tribe. Again, if you can manage your brand into becoming a tribe versus just another product or service that can be replaced by a cheaper competitor, you have made it in the brand strategy area. Like, you are doing amazing. You need to keep going. All right, so let's talk about next steps, building your brand strategy. So we've kind of gone over what a brand strategy is, why it's important, and the key components, and even went over an example. Now you're probably thinking, like, okay, how do I apply this to my business? This is a lot of great information. Well, it kind of starts with a little bit of a brand audit. It's really important that you figure out where you are before you start making improvements. As much as we'd love to jump right in, we need to understand how strong our current strategy is, because chances are some elements are working and some elements are not. The first question that I would ask in this brand audit is that, does my brand clearly communicate its purpose? This is an area that most businesses are going to be struggling in, is clear communication. And you can kind of figure this out by looking at your messaging and asking a friend or someone who's not in your industry to read it and then kind of like recite back to you what they feel like you're telling them. If it's not on par to what you would assume that it is, I would go back to the drawing board. You want to make sure that you're just as clear as possible, and it's not about necessarily being clever, it's about letting people know how you can help them and how you can solve their problem. The second question that I would ask is, am I attracting the right audience? This is kind of easier to figure out, because if you're getting a lot of clients that are not valuing the products and services that you offer, or trying to kind of like price tag shop or haggle, or maybe there's been a lot more problem clients that you've been having coming in the revolving doors of your business, chances are your brand strategy currently is casting too wide of a net, and it's time to niche down, which is fine. It's a little scary, but it means that you can kind of start tightening up your messaging, and that's always exciting because you can start getting people in the door who are excited to work with you, and they're not constantly badgering you with a challenge of asking if it's really worth the price that you're charging. Question number 3. Is my messaging consistent across all platforms? A good way to kind of gauge this is to go through and audit your social media, your emails, your website, and see what offers you're pushing forward, and is it consistent? Is it easy to see within each channel a consistent theme, or are you offering different types of values and packaging? Is there too much going on, is the question. If I'm coming from social media as a client, would they promise a certain type of product and service? Is it easy to find on the website? Are you putting me on a landing page, or are you making me search for it? You can kind of also gauge this by putting someone who's not familiar with your company or your industry and asking them to kind of navigate your different platforms by clicking on ads, or just asking them to get to your website. It's really useful, and they can kind of give you some pointers on where they're getting lost. The fourth question I would ask is, does my visual identity truly represent my brand personality? This one is kind of tricky, because if you're not sure about your brand personality to begin with, you might kind of fall into the trap of liking bits and pieces of your brand identity, but maybe not as a whole. I would recommend getting your employees together, managers, stakeholders, whoever, and just have everyone sit in the room and kind of write down different adjectives that you would describe your business, and see if that's translating to the visual aspects of your brand. If there are certain adjectives that are not translating, I would ask if those are important values. The fifth question that I would ask is, how do customers feel about interacting with my business? Now, a good way to figure this out is sending out surveys and just asking your customers. This is kind of scary for businesses, because getting feedback means that we have to now solve the problem. Whereas if we didn't send out a survey, we just kind of just shrug our shoulders and say, I don't know. It's just kind of a mystery. But I promise, if you can get your customers to participate in bettering your business, it will help build a stronger relationship between you two. It is a little difficult to get people to cooperate on surveys, so a good way to kind of encourage this is maybe give them a business offer. Give them a coupon, give them a free consultation, give them some sort of incentive for donating their time, which basically helps you invest in your business. You want to make sure that your clients are feeling valued and that you respect their time. A strong brand strategy isn't just about looking good, it's about being unforgettable. It's about creating an experience, building trust, and making a lasting impact. If you're ready to take your brand to the next level, you don't have to do it alone. At Spunky Psyche, I help businesses like yours build brands that attract, connect, and grow with purpose. You should book a consultation, and I would be happy to help craft your brand strategy with you. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, and tell me what type of content you want to see. I love interacting with you guys, and I want to have conversations that are useful for your business and help you grow. What's one thing you would like to improve about your brand? And let's chat about it.